I'm here today with Dr. Doug Grose, who is actually he's the gentleman who invented the ASAP skincare many years ago. I'm going to have a talk about the changing landscape in the cosmeceutical and skincare industry at the moment. So thank you so much for taking the time today.
Pleasure.
So, Dr. Grose, can you tell us, I know you're the president of the Australian College of
Cosmetic Physicians.
Cosmetic Physicians, and I just want to have a bit of a chat to you about the changing landscape in cosmeceuticals and what it means for the industry today.
Well, I think that what we're seeing is that as you know, I've been involved with cosmeceuticals for a very long time via ASAP, which started in sort of late 1999. But what I'm seeing now is the recognition by the general public that skincare is not full fluff and puff in a pretty bottle. It actually got to do something for your skin. And so there's been quite an explosion in companies providing cosmeceutical skincare products. I think the fundamentals probably haven't changed all that much, but some of the active ingredients that we use are changing. But the fundamental principles are still pretty much the same as they were way back in 2000.
Yeah. So the most important thing when it comes to skincare is actually looking after your skin. Like in anti-aging, actually, the most important thing with anti-aging is looking after your skin.
Well, protecting your skin from the sun if you're Australian.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, one of my favourite speeches is to say to people, if you were stranded on a desert island, you're only allowed to have one skincare product, which one would you pick?
Yeah.
And if you didn't say sunscreen, you got the wrong answer.
Okay.
Because the most important anti-aging product by far is sunscreens. But then after that, I think the other one we want is the products which promote cellular renewal. So that's where the vitamin A products and the fruit acid products come into their own, and because they help promote cell renewal, exfoliation and renewal of the skin. So they're the big advances, was the recognition that sunscreen should be used every day. Again, another speech I'm well known for making is that the Slip Slop Slap campaign was great, except they didn't say put it on every day. They just said when you go out in the sun, and people think, oh well, you know, I'm going for a walk down to the shops, that's not going out in the sun. Yes, it is. Right. You've got to have a sunscreen and a hat on, you know, basically all the time.
Totally.
Particularly if your mic's sort of very fair complexion.
Yeah. Even with myself. So basically everyone in Australia should be using sunscreen every day with a 30 plus?
Well, 50 plus is the new higher standard, and there are quite a few products which are cosmetic type products as versus your beach type product, which are perfectly acceptable for everyday use with an SPF 50. One of the things we might talk about briefly, if I may, because it's a topic that I think is important, is that people often don't understand what SPF stands for. And people think it's a percentage of how good the protection is. It's got nothing to do with that. SPF actually measures how long you can stay out in the sun for without going red. Right. That's actually how it's measured. Okay.
So 50 is.
So 50 means that you can stay out in the sun literally 50 times longer before you go red. Okay. So it's a duration of effect. Right. Okay. So that means if you put it on first thing in the morning, as a general principle, it's going to last all day.
Okay.
But if you only use an SPF 8, it's not going to last all day.
It's not enough.
Yeah, exactly. So it's time. It's not effectiveness. It's time.
Yeah. And there's some great products on the market now where it's got a tinted moisturiser in it and it's got a 30 plus that I've seen.
Well, I always used to say I was probably one of the early people who used to talk about this to my patients about the importance of sunscreen. I used to say to the ladies, do you put a moisturiser on in the morning? They said, oh yes. I'd say, do you put a sunscreen on? Oh no, well, why would I want to do that? No. It's like, how about you get rid of the moisturiser, you put the sunscreen on, because it'll moisturise your skin just as well. Because sunscreen creams are basically oil and water with the sunscreens mixed in with them. And oil and water is what a moisturiser is. That's what you need. So. You know, the morning sunscreen makes perfect sense. It gives you moisturiser, gives you base for putting cosmetics on, and it's giving you sun protection.
Yeah, exactly. So no matter what you do, one of the most important things is the base foundation, the sun care factor in the base skincare that you're using. Is that right?
Absolutely. And don't forget to your neck, décolletage, and the hands.
Yes. The first bit's the age.
Yes, absolutely. Neck's the one that's always the problem. It's a very difficult area for us to rejuvenate as cosmetic doctors, and it's one of the things that we'll often show. And décolletage particularly. I mean, I live on the Gold Coast, as you know, and I'm driving along sometimes in the morning, and there's these gorgeous young ladies strutting themselves on the boardwalk without a hat on and wearing a little like a tank top. And I'm thinking, I bet they haven't got sunscreen on either. And you know, in 20 years' time, they're going to say, I wish I wore sunscreen.
Yeah, that's so true. So true. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
That's a pleasure.
If you've got any questions or you want to find out about a great range for you, drop us an email at info@plasticsurgeryhub.com.au, or as well, if you want to look up who's a member of the Cosmetic Physicians College of Australia, just drop us an email as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.